What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And everyone in their past has done something stupid. Marvel's the same. Here are 10 things they want you to forget about. Number 10, Marvel went bankrupt. It's hard to believe that there was ever a time when Marvel had absolutely nothing, because they're currently running the most successful comic book company. During the 1990s, they were losing so much money, and it seemed almost impossible to gain it back. To make matters worse, they owed $1.7 million to Disney. Over 1/3 of Marvel's employees were fired, which led to the company canceling half of their comic books. The reason why no one was buying their comics was because it was filled with terrible art and awful storylines. At the time, Marvel was making very bad business decisions, and they were a victim of the junk bond scheme. The mistakes they made almost cost them their whole company, but luckily Marvel managed to get back on the right track. This shows that even one of the most wealthiest companies can hit rock bottom. Number 9, Chuck Austin's X-Men. If your favorite Marvel superhero team is X-Men, then you would probably hate seeing the name Chuck Austin on your comic books. He's a terrible writer, but for some reason Marvel gave him the opportunity to work on some very major assignments. People consider his writing an embarrassment to the X-Men franchise. The fans were very angry because Austin ruined their favorite characters by giving them horrible storylines. He made many mistakes, such as turning Polaris into Nutcase, making Iceman rebuild his body from Havoc's piss, and allowing Nightcrawler to be the son of a demon. Also, Austin actually thought that making Angel and Husk a couple was a good idea. Everyone disliked this pairing because of the huge age gap and the fact that they literally had sex right in front of the mother of Husk. This is the reason why most fans pretend like these comics never existed. Number 8, The Ultimates Volume 3. This was a 5-issue monthly comic book miniseries that should have never been published. Jeff Loeb, the writer of The Ultimates, has probably never picked up a comic book in his life because it's obvious that he had no idea what he was doing. The Wasp is portrayed as an Asian character, but Loeb thought that it would be okay to make her white. Another time he screwed up was when he decided to portray Captain America as a short-tempered jerk. If you think that this writing can't get any worse, then you're wrong. Just for shock value, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were in love with each other, which made all Marvel fans feel sick to their stomach. Nothing is more disgusting than turning siblings into lovers. The characters were not likable at all, the plot was awful, the artwork was poor, and then he made everyone fall asleep. Number 7, Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy. Spider-Man is easily considered one of the greatest Marvel superheroes ever. His comics are loved by many fans, however, the Sins Past storyline was an absolute disaster. At first, the writers wanted to make Gwen Stacy pregnant with Peter's child, but that idea was quickly shut down because there was a major problem. They thought that Peter was too young to be a father and believed that he was not responsible enough to raise children. So, what did they do to solve this problem? Well, they decided to make Gwen sleep with Norman Osborn. That's right. The girl who is supposed to be madly in love with Peter Parker had sex with his arch enemy and his best friend's father. This did not make any sense because Gwen would never leave Peter for a man who couldn't care less about her. Also, how gross is it that she had children with the guy who later killed her in the comic? Number 6, Peter Parker getting married to Mary Jane. This couple has always been a fan favorite. They love each other so much, and that is something that can never magically disappear. Many people think that their marriage was one of the greatest storylines in the Marvel Universe. Peter and MJ were very happy together, but sadly, all good things must come to an end. Marvel's editor-in-chief, Joe Quesada, said that it was a big mistake and he would do anything to take it back. He preferred the teenage version of Spidey and didn't like how his marriage made him seem very old. He really wanted to end the relationship, but he knew that having a divorce was not the right way to do it, so he came up with another idea. In the comic One More Day, Aunt May is wounded by a sniper, and the only person who could save her was the devil himself. Mephisto made a deal with Spidey. He saved Aunt May's life, and in return, Peter had to give up his relationship with MJ. Number 5, Black Panther and the Ku Klux Klan. This superhero recently made his live-action debut in Captain America: Civil War, and everyone instantly fell in love with him. He is the first African-American superhero in mainstream comics, which is why many people look up to him. He is known as the king of the fictional African nation called Wakanda. Black Panther's first official comic, Jungle Book, is actually considered one of the most important comic book runs of all time. Since the sales were not doing so well, it was only a matter of time before they canceled it. Marvel's timing couldn't have been any worse. They ended the comic halfway through a storyline in which T'Challa fought the KKK. Many fans were outraged and they criticized Marvel for not finishing a storyline that had a lot of potential. Number 4, Miss Marvel rape storyline. It's almost impossible to find a Marvel fan who doesn't love Carol Danvers. She is such a great hero, which is why many fans were angry when Marvel completely destroyed this character in the 1980s. With only one issue, they managed to ruin her reputation. In the Avengers comic, she was pregnant and named her son Marcus. When he grew up, it was revealed that he traveled back in time and raped his own mother. So basically, Miss Marvel had a son named Marcus, and the father was Marcus, which really doesn't make any sense. The worst part about this storyline is that Miss Marvel apparently enjoyed it, and she decided to stay with the man who not only raped her, but is also her son. Marvel doesn't want anyone to know about this disgusting storyline, so not once did they bring it up since the 1980s. Number 3, SpiderMan Kills in comic books. No one would expect the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man to kill people, but he actually killed multiple times in the comics. Many fans see him as this innocent teenager, so why the hell would Marvel even think about making him a killer? In an early issue, Spidey kills a villain called Moondark by accident. There are lots of heroes that accidentally kill people, but unlike Spider-Man, they don't make a joke seconds after a death. Another time he killed someone was in Spider-Man vs. Wolverine graphic novel. He kills a woman named Charlie by punching her in the face because he thought she was actually Wolverine trying to sneak up on him. Even though he felt really guilty about killing her, it did not change the fact that he ended a life. In some comics, Spidey doesn't really live up to his famous quote, "With great power comes great responsibility." Number 2, Ant-Man's Dark Side. The film had a light-hearted tone and it was filled with hilarious jokes, so it's really hard to believe that his character has a really dark past. Hank Pym is the original Ant-Man and is known to be the founding member of the Avengers. He is also married to the Wasp, which is a relationship that should have never happened because Hank has a very short temper. People are usually surprised when they find out that he is an abuser. He has hit his wife in the Marvel 616 and in the Ultimate Marvel universe. This is something that no one can ever forgive. The most disgusting part is that some people try to justify what he did by saying Hank was going through a very tough time. The chances of his dark side being explained in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is very low because Hank Pym is not a main character. Number 1, the destruction of Captain America. The best way to end this list is by talking about the one storyline that happened recently in the Marvel Universe and it made every single Captain America fan very upset. Everyone was very shocked when they found out that their favorite superhero spent his whole life working with the enemy. In case you didn't already know, Steve Rogers is a spy for Hydra. Apparently his mother sent him to Hydra at a very young age and ever since then, he has been an agent for them. As soon as everyone read the line "Hail Hydra," they threw their Captain America comic book in the garbage and put it on fire and never saw it again. How is it even possible that Marvel managed to turn their biggest hero into a villain with only one issue? The reason why Captain America was made in the first place was because the creators wanted their superhero to fight Nazi soldiers, not become one. As always, thanks for watching the video guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next video.